You must fight your enemy. There are enemies in our lives. All of us have enemies. And I'm going to just zoom in a little bit now. But there are enemies in our lives. You must fight your enemies. But you must not listen to your enemies. So we carry on in the next chapter in 1 Samuel 17. And the people, or the army of Israel, they're all standing ready to fight. And a giant comes forth. And the giant comes and he stands. And listen to what the giant says. Goliath. This is what he says. Goliath stood and shouted to the ranks of Israel, "Why do you come out and line up for battle? Am I not a Philistine? And are you not the servants of Saul? Choose a man and have him come down to me. If he is able to fight and kill me, we will become your subjects. But if I overcome him and kill him, you will become our subjects and serve us." Yes, Saul, the Spirit of the Lord had just departed from him. And now he comes to battle. He does not have the Spirit of the Lord anymore. And the enemy gets up. And the enemy changes the rules of warfare. Because warfare was never one man against one man. Warfare was always an army against an army. But when Goliath stands up and Goliath says, "Let me tell you, let's change the way we fight." Because Saul did not have the Spirit of God, he listened to the enemy. He could have said, let's get together, let's go. Let's not listen to this guy. If 10 of us attack him and kill him, that's okay. But let's just kill him and let's just get going and let's just fight this battle. But no, he is manipulated, he is intimidated, he is by the enemy, and he listens to the voice of the enemy. And I want to say to you today that God's called us not to listen to the enemy. God's called us not to agree with the enemy. God's called us not to agree with the terms of the enemy. He's called us to fight the enemy. But if we walk in the Spirit, we will be able to fight the enemy. But if we do not walk in the Spirit, we will listen and we will try and negotiate with the enemy. Before, when Saul started off, he had the Holy Spirit and he said, "There's no negotiations. No eyes is going to be gouged out now. No one's going to... There's no negotiations. Let's go and let's just finish off the enemy." But when the Spirit of the Lord left him, he started negotiating with the enemy. And he agreed with the enemy. Can you imagine agreeing with the enemy? No, none of you do that. We come to a time when we are not walking in the Spirit that we will agree with the enemy. When you are Spirit-filled, you cannot agree with the enemy. You cannot agree with sin. You cannot justify sin. When you are Spirit-filled, you will not make a covenant with the enemy. Who presented the challenge? The enemy. The enemy presented the challenge. And the enemy will always present the challenge in your life. But you know what? Goliath set the rules. And if you allow the devil to set the rules in your life, you're going to lose. Don't let the devil